Hi everyone, my name is Sean Sabetkar and you're listening to Goal Bezan podcast.
یه فرصت خوب حالا پشت مدافعان خداداد عزیزی توی دروازه گل برای ایران خداداد عزیزی باز هم روی زمین گشت سردار آزمون و توی سردار آزمون گل به نام آزمون و برای ایران بزنه کریم انصاری گل توی دروازه کریم انصاری
Welcome back to your new Global Bezan podcast. My name's Arya Allahverdi. Today I'm going to be joined by defender for Degerfors, plays in, of course, in the Swedish Allsvenskan, Sean Sabetkar. Really appreciate you taking the time to come on the Global Bezan podcast. How are you doing, my friend?
Hi man, how are you?
All good. How are you yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Having a game tomorrow, so just came home from practice. So it's all good.
It was your birthday last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm 26 years old.
Very good, very good.
Getting old now.
No, not too. Not
Not too.
Football standards, you're still very, very young.
It's okay. Yeah.
You're in your prime now, yeah. And of course, how did the COVID-19 pandemic affect you, and how is it affecting you now with your club?
Yeah, so in Sweden in general, the pandemic, of course, it's affected the country and of course the football as well. But if you compare it to other nations and other countries and maybe other leagues, I don't think Sweden in general have been so much affected by it. Me myself, of course, if I look at it on a personal level, my grandmother passed away in coronavirus, so in that way that it have affected me. But if I look at my footballing career, except that we don't have audience on the games and fans on the games, it has been in general the same as before. But in Sweden here we have a strong, fans culture and like culture in for public in general. I think even though the level on the league is not like top level, the audience and the fans are top level here in Europe. So it's bad that we haven't been able to have them on the stands for a year now.
Yeah, and I do say sorry for your loss as well. But yeah, hopefully we can progress this season if you can get more fans in the stadium and you guys can enjoy your football even more next season. Okay, so obviously speaking about yourself, your career, obviously your career before that, though, I want to speak about your Iranian roots. Of course, I think you were born in Iran. You were born in Sweden, sorry, but you have Iranian parents. So
Exactly.
just speak to me a little bit about your family in Sweden and Iran.
So my mom and dad, they are from Iran and they are they are from Tehran. Me myself, I'm born in Sweden, in Stockholm, born and raised all my life. I've just been in Iran once actually when I was a kid. So of course I'm going to Iran when I can soon. So I'm looking forward to go to Iran when I can and when the pandemic allows. So that's short about me. My dad himself played in Esteghlal as a kid, both in football and volleyball. So of course he's an Esteghlal fan, and my mom is a Persepolis fan. So that's about it in the family.
That's a good one. That's a good mix of support you have there in your family.
Yeah.
So you've never been to Iran yourself. You're looking to go though for the first time. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Okay. So I was 1 year old, so
I
don't remember anything.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. And of course, a little bit about the Iranians that have played in Sweden. And obviously, Saman Ghoddos is probably the best example for that. Saman made the national team, but then you've also had players like Omid Nazari, who also played for the national team at one point. Amin Nazari, his brother. You've had Atash Kade, Paya Pichkah, who's recently scored a very nice goal for his club. Behran Safari, who played for the Swedish national team, and then you've also got coaches like Puya, Aspari. You've got Mehran Shadidipur. There's a lot of Iranian, Swedish people involved in football. What's your opinion on that? Why is that the case?
Yeah, so in general, we have many Iranians in Sweden here. Actually, I don't know why, but we are a lot of Iranians. So I think that many of us that we are born here. Okay, so we have been raised with the
Yeah.
Swedish football, the Swedish football culture.
Yeah.
And of course, in Iran, the football is huge, with yourself. So combining that culture from Iran and the Swedish culture, it's a good mix, So of course, Ghoddos is one of the biggest Swedish Iranians that we have, but we have a lot of young talents also here. One of them is Paya Pichkah in Sundsvall. He's young, and I think he's a really good prospect for the Iranian national team for the future. And I know that we have a lot of young talents around in the academies around here in Sweden, in general in Stockholm, because I'm from there, so I know. So it's fun, when we see each other and when we follow each other's careers here.
And just very quickly on Paya Pichkah, I don't know your opinion on him. He's a very young player, but you're saying he should be trying to get into the national team in the future. But why do you think that he hasn't been able to get into the Iran U21s, U23s? I mean, is it a problem with the Iranian system? Are they not scouting the players properly? I mean, on our last interview with Navid Nasseri, we were speaking about how that was an issue for him. He noticed it when he was part of the U21 squad. Navid wasn't given enough communication with the federation. But why is he not being called up to the U21s, for example?
It's a hard question to me to answer, but if I'm going to try to give you an answer that is from my point of view, it's a scouting view. I don't know how well scouted Scandinavian countries are in Iran. I don't know. Maybe that's an issue because we have a lot of talents here, young talents and good prospects to have an eye on for Iran as a country, as a football country, and of course for Team Melli as well.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, a little bit about your own career. Obviously, you started your career when you were a boy at AIK, then you moved on to, I'm not going to say these names properly, but I'll try my best. You went to Bolstanas, is that how you say it, or whatever, and then you went to Vassalons, and you went to Carlsbergs, Sollentuna, you went to Västerås, and now you're at Degerfors. So a little bit about your time before you went all the way to now you're playing in the Allsvenskan. Speak about that process of getting into these clubs and how it went, and the progression from there all the way to now.
Yeah. So as you said, I played in AIK, which is it's one of Sweden's biggest clubs here in the country. So I played in academy here for 12 years, and when you don't get like all the way to the top, to the A team in that age, you need to take another road, and for me, I have been taking the long way to the top here in Sweden. I played in the 5th tier, I played in the 4th tier, 3rd tier, 2nd tier, and now the 1st tier here in Sweden. So for me myself, it's been a long way to the top, but I have been some of my friends are always making fun of my my career and my journey. It's like we're always comparing, the turtle and the rabbit Have you heard about that race?
Yeah,
It's
of
like,
course.
yeah, and I'm like the turtle. It's going forward, but slowly, but always forward. So maybe if I can summarize my career after all these years, maybe that's a good one for me. So I've been taking like step for step, year by year, and now I'm in Degerfors. Last year I played in Västerås in Superettan. That's the second tier. Being captain for the team last year there. So maybe if I can summarize it shortly, that's it.
And obviously, last season, obviously with Westeros, you were captain, as you said, and you did quite well last season from what I saw. You know, your team, I think they finished 7th in the league, and you know you were obviously the captain. But so how was that experience for you? First of all, captaining a team, and what did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, so one thing about that is like I've been captaining my team in every tier I've been to. So last year was, of course, it was the highest tier I've been captaining in, but for me personally, it's nothing. How can I say this without?
No, go
Can
on,
we take
go on.
that off? Yeah,
Obviously, it's
yeah.
nothing new for you because you've done
Yeah,
it so many
exactly,
times.
exactly. So it's like
Yeah,
it's something like I've done before.
yeah.
Even though it's in the lower tires, it's something I've been doing before. So it feels it's been like a natural step for me.
Well, it
So
speaks to your character, obviously. You know, obviously
yeah,
you have being captain of so many clubs. It shows that you've got the leadership abilities that you need in modern day football as a defender to be a leader on the pitch. You know, starting from the defense, you have to be able to command the team properly. You know, a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
times I think young players who are defenders are probably the one of the biggest issues they have is a lack of leadership. You
yeah,
know, maybe the coaches are too, or the ones that are being the leaders and are not letting the young players do that. You know,
yeah.
so it's very important that you have that characteristic. So yeah, now obviously because of all those experiences you've had being captain of all these clubs, now you've got your opportunity, as you said, like a turtle. You've made your move to Degerfors and in the top flight of Swedish football. You've already played, I think it's three matches. Um,
Four
First and
games.
foremost, 4 games. Okay, how's that experience been now that you've experienced some top flight football?
So first of all, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be playing in the first time, of course, in the top flight, because that's have been one of the goals for myself personally. And now, second, it's like I feel ready for it. Okay, so it feels like I'm on the right level for myself personally and the team also. And it's been not the best start, but we're making progress as a team because the team just came up in the top flight. So we are progressing together, and we are a lot of players that making their debut season for the top flight also. So it's going to be a progress for the team and for myself personally also. But it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to turn out to be a good year after all in the end.
And what do you think are the challenges with this league? You know, obviously you're going to play against teams who are potentially playing in the in Europa League and Champions League against some good teams like Malmo and etc. So, what do you think are the biggest challenges for you as a defender?
No, of course you need to be everything. You need to be better. You need to be smarter. You need to be faster. You need to be stronger. But I think if you have the cognitive abilities as a defender and you're thinking faster than maybe players that are physically better than you, you can like um, even the battle between the players that are in top. And we have an example for that, Marek Hamšík, in Napoli. He played in Gothenburg
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
and
he's gone to yeah.
yeah, exactly. And we played them last week and won 3-2. I mean, of course, it's exceptional. He's an exceptional player, but we're here now, and we don't need to like tell someone sorry because we're here. But you need to trust yourself and trust your abilities of playing in this league and playing in this division. So, yeah, like to summarize it, you don't need to focus on others. Just focus on yourself and your own abilities to accomplish and like doing good things on the pitch.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I
Yeah,
hope that continues as well, because I saw the celebrations after the match. You guys were very, very, very happy to have won that game, and rightly so. You know, it's a very important result for the club. Um, and
exactly. Yeah, you need to celebrate like small wins. You know.
Exactly. Now, obviously, this is the part of the podcast I'm sure a lot of the Iranian football fans are very excited to listen to, specifically yourself, being Iranian. There's obviously going to be the question looming about yourself playing now in top flight European football. As you know, Iranians are now slowly starting to move to Europe, playing in big leagues. However, we're still lacking defenders in the top leagues. We've only got 3 centre backs in the top flight league. You've got Majid Hosseini, who's playing in Trabzonspor, and Iman Salimi, who's playing in Slovakia with Sered. So you three are the only ones playing in top flight European football. So it's very limited in that sense. So the move to Degerfors, do you think that is an opportunity for you to get closer to the national team?
It's obviously it's a hard question. Once again, for me to answer, but I think it probably should be actually, because it's top flight, and if I continue to play games and doing well on the games, personally, I think that maybe it's of course it's make me more attractive for Iran Iran and Team Melli for the future. I think just look at Ghoddos is a perfect example of that. So of course I would be lying if I told you no.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be in the back of your mind, I'm sure, because as a player, that's it. That's the optimum goal, to get to a national team to play for a World Cup, and I'm sure that's one of your goals. But so what are your goals if you were to make the national team? What would you like to succeed in under that environment?
No, but of course it would be a dream, and first of all, the first step and the first goal is to have a chance to like prove myself in that environment and that level. I think that I would handle it good. I trust my abilities of being a good player and contribute with good things on the field also, not just like make it in the squad. I want to play as every footballer. So the first step and the first goal is to get a chance for proving myself in that environment first of all.
And then obviously speaking about the national team currently, the current condition of the team. Right now we're closing on qualifying matches in 3 or 4 weeks time, where Iran have to win 3 matches to progress to the next stage. What are your thoughts on the current national team under Dragan Skocic? How do you think they'll get on in June?
I think that we're gonna win the games because we have so much quality in the squad right now. We have so many players making great seasons and like good statistics. If you look at the statistics, if you look at Starter Osman, for example, we have so many players that making really good for themselves out there, not just in Europe, also if you look in Iran also. So I think we have a good quality in the squad, and we are one of the best teams in Asia. So I think that we need to go and win those games also.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. We have, like you said, one of the strongest attacks in Iran, in Asia, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about it. If we have, Taremi and Osman, Queiroz, all these players, playing very well, we should be able to go out against Hong Kong, Cambodia, Iraq, and all that to win games.
Yeah,
But
of
it
course.
all depends. I think it all depends for Iran is the mentality of the players. That's the most important thing for me. Is are they mentally in the right situation? Is the psychology of the team correct for the environment that they're playing in? You know, so hopefully that does happen, because that was the problem last time around. So we'll see what happens when it comes up. Okay,
Yeah.
now just obviously before we ask you some fan questions that we had, what are your personal goals for the future, especially with your own club? What do you kind of want to succeed in this season, and possibly next season?
Yeah, but first of all, we need to, as a club, be able to be in Allsvenskan next year. So that's the goal for us. And personally, I want to contribute with my on the pitch. Of course, I want to play as many games as possible. And when I play, I also want to make good on the field for myself personally. But what matters the most is it's for the league, it's for the team to stay in the league for next year. So that's the ultimate goal right now, and for me to play as much as I can, and of course, in the end, also enjoying the time that I spend on the pitch, because you never know for how long you can play football. So I'm just trying to enjoy my time as a footballer right now, and I'm also trying to, I always train extra, and I always trying to I'm trying to give myself the best opportunities to be the best footballer that I can be, and I don't think that my journey so far, making this step by step career, it's not like based on luck. Of course, it's luck. In all these sort of situations in my teams, I've been able to get opportunities. Sometimes it's a bit luck, but if you make good things and you have good habits as a footballer and trying to make the best of your career, you will in the end get results. So I'm just continuing to doing those stuff that I've been in the past years, and hopefully it's gonna be continuing giving me good results.
Yeah, definitely. Hope so. Hope that happens for you. Hopefully, all these goals that you're setting for yourself do actually become, reality, because it's very important as a footballer that you do succeed as much as possible. Because we all know that footballers don't have more than 20 years of football, so they have to make sure that they do their best within that time.
Yeah.
Okay, one question we got from one of our guys, Sahan Salari. He asks you, from a defender's point of view, how do you perceive the way Iran defended under Carlos Queiroz, especially against top teams like Argentina, Spain, Portugal at the 2 World Cups that we were at?
Yeah. So of course that's a way of doing it, and as we all know, it's been successful doing that for Iran and under Queiroz. But we have like different types of playing football. Some coaches want to be more attacking and like ball positioning teams, and we have the other side where you defend first and attack after. And I think that you have, as a coach, if you look if you look on the perspective as a coach, and for me as myself as a player, I think the most important thing is that you need to look at the players you have in the team, and after that making tactics and like the style of the team based on what you have for players in the team. You understand what I'm after here?
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Look, I mean, we had to play towards our strengths in those matches. Carlos Queiroz understood his team. He knew that he wasn't going to go out against Argentina and Spain, Portugal, and just attack. They're not going. You can't do that. They're too good. They're too strong.
Yeah.
So you have to play towards your strengths. Iran's strengths. Actually, our strength wasn't our defense. We had better attacking players, but you have to then make your defense stronger. So I think one of the things he did was he made sure that we as a unit were defending well.
Exactly. So he made sure
You
that
know,
we as a collective was
yeah,
strong, and that doesn't mean we're just having defending players on the pitch,
exactly.
because as we all know, we had good attacking players, but I think one of the best things he made for our national team was that we got one, okay, as a team, and you could see on the pitch that everyone on the field knew what their role on the pitch was, okay. So, and that's so hard. That's leadership on the top level, and I think his leadership in that way is it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast, Sean. I really appreciate you giving up your time. Hopefully you have a good game. Is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
And hopefully you can get a result. Maybe you can score a goal for us as well.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Do you want to
Thank you.
say anything to the Iranian fans?
No, just continue supporting. I appreciate it. I appreciate every time when I get support from you guys. So hopefully I will continue doing good.
And
In future also.
hopefully we'll see you in the national team at some point as well.
Yeah, it will be fun. It will be
Okay.
amazing. Thanks.
Excellent. Okay, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Go Bezan. Of course, you can find us on our social media, at Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook at Gold Bezan. And you can listen to us on YouTube. If you're not subscribed and you're listening to us on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. You can also listen to the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and now we're also on Amazon Music. So if you want to listen to us on that, you can also subscribe on all those platforms. We're also on other platforms as well, like Castbox and lots of other podcast platforms. If you do want to listen to other ones, you can do that. But for now, I appreciate your time, Sean. Hopefully, we can speak in the future. Everyone else, we'll be back very soon, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, this is Navid Nasri, and you're listening to the Golbazan podcast.